It is Kyle Henderson, Bama football on YouTube. It is Friday. It is December 12th. Could I get a roll tide inside the comment box? Thank you very much for joining me today. I really appreciate you. I have so much gratitude always, every single time I step on the platform that I'm able to talk Alabama football with you. I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. If you caught Wake Up Bama this morning at 4 a.m., where's my 4 a.m. crew at? And as I spoke about on the 4 a.m. podcast, life is about being positive, right? Life is about being optimistic. And I think we're all going to go through different times in different points in our lives where we might get on the struggle bus for a little bit. And that's okay, right? It's about getting punched. It's about popping back up. And right now, I think in terms of Alabama football, what does this team do now that they got punched in the mouth again, right? Can you go forward again? We've seen them go forward before. And I think in this climate of college football, it's a gauntlet, right? I mean, having a team like Oklahoma, rematches don't come often in life. Not a lot of time in life do you get an opportunity to redo things, right? Think about that. I mean, how many times do you think in life do you get an opportunity to really get a rematch, really get a redo? And this time they have one, and they got to go through Norman, Oklahoma. And I know the big talk all this week on an open week has been about kind of the outside noise and about kind of what else is going on. And sometimes those things are made up to kind of fill space. But the reality is we have a game next Friday. Okay, so we're 7 days away from a college football playoff game. All the other stuff is kind of hearsay. Like, we don't really know what the future holds, but we do know that we got a game next Friday between Alabama and Oklahoma. And as you would guess, I feel good about this game. I'll touch on that a little bit, but just, be optimistic about new life and about new opportunities for Alabama's football season. There's a lot of programs right now that are probably going live, and, they're content creators who I'm sure do an amazing job. They're talking to their program about the Holiday Bowl, about the Sun Bowl. They're talking about, what could be, what could have been. We still have a lot at stake. And if you look to Alabama and the bracket where they fall, they get hot. You got to admit, Alabama has a damn good spot in that bracket. The top is where you want to be. The bottom, that is a buzzsaw down there. So good morning to everybody, and welcome to today's program, and I appreciate you guys. And we start out today by talking about Alabama's 2026 schedule, which came out last night on the SEC Network. Have you guys already seen this? Let's just dive into this real quick. The first thing that stands out when you're looking at Alabama's 2026 schedule is, I guess I'll start on the left column. You have a game at Kentucky going up to Lexington. That should be, that's a really early game to be playing Kentucky. But I was thinking about this. For whoever's going to this game, that's going to be so beautiful driving up to Lexington on September 12th, right? That's just going to be a beautiful time of the year. So you got Eastern Carolina coming in for the opener, and then you got a game in Lexington for your SEC opener. So, right, 2 warm-up games before you get an opportunity to give it back to Florida State. I'm curious to see what happens with Tommy Castellanos, the Florida State quarterback, because I think he's trying for an extra year to come back. I don't know if that's going to happen or not. I think he was denied, but who knows? It seems like right now the ruling on who can come back and when they can come back and all that stuff, it seems kind of confusing to everybody. So who knows? I would imagine he moves on, but I don't know what's in store for Florida State quarterback Tommy Castellanos. But I do know that Florida State has kept Mike Norvell. And Florida State fans were not happy about it because there was 21% of the world of college football has new college football coaches. I think they thought that they were going to get someone else. I think that they thought that they were going to win the national championship after they beat Alabama. I think that Florida State drank rat poison. Seriously. Look, I know right now everyone's like, Florida State had a crash out. Hell yeah, they had a crash out. It was one of the worst crash outs I've ever seen in college football. But I'll tell you what. On that day that they beat Alabama football, and not to open up old wounds, but there for those 2 weeks, Florida State was a damn good football team, right? Man, am I right? Like I watched them 2 consecutive weeks. I watched them do nasty work on Bama. And then I watched them do, who did they play after? It was like West Texas A&M or something like that when they scored like 77 points. I was like, damn, this team is crazy. And then they just had a complete crash out, right? All right, so then you take on South Carolina, and looks like they're getting a new offensive coordinator, right? Maybe they can. I thought South Carolina just, things didn't go their way this season. But that's going to be a tough game. They're coming over to Bryant-Denny Stadium. Then take a little trip out to Stark Vegas. Who's been to Stark Vegas before? Raise your hand. Who's been there for a football game? I'm telling you, I'm talking about this October 3rd game on the screen. Yo, going to Stark Vegas is crazy. I'm telling you, it's a little country town, little college country town, and it's loud. They have these cowbells. You seen this? And they just ring them the entire time. It's loud. I'm telling you. Then you go Georgia. All right, Georgia comes over here this time. The last time Georgia came over here, can you imagine? That's already going to be like 3 seasons ago, right? 2 seasons ago, whatever it is. Man, time flies. And Georgia comes back, and then you have a trip up to Knoxville. We all remember the last time went up to Knoxville. Yo, I think what really stands out to me on this schedule, the month of October is crazy. And, this year we've been talking about right now, Alabama kind of started having, I don't know, they started getting banged up. They started losing games kind of around, that threshold where it was like really challenging. In this October schedule, look at it. Georgia, Tennessee, Texas A&M, open week, and then a trip down to take on LSU and Lane Kiffin. That's a hard October schedule. I haven't looked at everybody else's schedule, but it's the SEC. All schedules are going to be tough. And then after that, you got a trip to Nash Vegas. Chattanooga comes in, and then you take on Alex Golesh and Auburn. So it's a tough schedule. What would you say on a scale of 1 to 10? What would you say that this schedule is in terms of like being difficult? I say, I don't know what I said last night when I cut that video. Man, I've been cutting so many videos. It's been wild. I would probably say like 7.5 on the Richter scale. Is it Richter or Ripter? Richter scale, right? For the earthquakes. Yeah, I'm going to say 7.5. What do you guys think? 6? Jarvis says 6. And you never know, right? Like, it looks tough, but then some of these teams could have crash outs, or they could, whatever, quarterback, you lose your quarterback, all sorts of stuff. All right, so 6.5. Anna says 7. Bat James says 7. Yeah, Chris G says 6.5. Okay, yeah. So maybe it looks like 7. Okay, all right. So that's kind of Alabama's football schedule, and the other thing is, before I leave this, 9 conference games now, 9. Not 8, and only 1 open week. So, man, next season going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And I know, look, Timothy's like Keelan Russell, starter next season. Can you imagine if he doesn't start, and if Austin Mack starts? Can you imagine if Ty Simpson comes back? He's not going to. But, people putting that out there. Same thing that he had surgery on his back, right? The guy had surgery in the open week. So, we'll see how he fares. Let's see who's up in the crib today. I appreciate you guys kicking it right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Thank you so much to everybody up in the undefeated. Tonette, turn up. What's up? I appreciate you. Andy coming to us from Denver, Colorado. Dano, we appreciate you up inside the comment box. Derek Spencer, good morning. We got the Haunted Syndicate. What's up, man? Thank you very much for being here. O.C. Dobbins, what's up, man? How you doing this beautiful Friday, December 12th? Robert Bradley Jr., man, what's up? I love that name. Just rolls off the tongue so nicely. We got Eric Burrow. What's up, man? We got Ethan up inside the comment box. And, look, I know, so the usernames, I don't know what happened on this channel for the usernames. They're all different. But I know my people, all right? So, right here, this is Chris from New Jersey. All right, so and I know who my people are. So don't worry if your username got changed or whatever. I got you. Amanda Jane, what's up? See, this is Broderick, right? Shaq Adams. And if you've been here a long time, I know what city you're repping because you said it inside the comment box when I've asked you guys. Max Tooney, what's up, man? Thank you so much for being here. All right, Jay. See, I even know this about Jay. Jay just got a new phone. All right, he got a new phone number, and he's a frequent caller. All right, Chris Waltman, what's up, man? I appreciate you being inside the comment box. Chris 01, thank you so much. Young C, Young C, I know where he's coming out of. He's coming out of Weptonka. All right, so I appreciate you, Young C. Thank you very much for being here. Thomas, what's up? Miss Nicole Covington, appreciate you being here. Thank you so much to everybody up inside the comment box. Antoine, what's up, man? Antoine's been here for a minute. Look, Antoine has in his avatar, this is the old, like he has the undefeated like hoodie on. Man, in North Alabama Storm Chase, good to see you. We have a super chat already to kick off the program. Let's see. 87, Dave says this. Kyle, I haven't heard people talk about this stat, but Deboer is 4-0 after a bye week. Beat LSU 2 times, Georgia 2 times. I think they win big after having time to rest and scheme and practice. Yeah, you look at some of those stats. Remember one time when we were tracking like his record when he was wearing the black hoodie? Do those stats play any role into a game like this? No, but they are factual information, and it tells you that he does have his team prepared. I think the biggest thing, 87, on this is that this particular team at this point in time just had time to recover. And that's the thing that the outside world doesn't really understand if you're not in the SEC is this is an NFL type schedule. You know what I'm saying? So, and these are college players. Yeah, they're being paid like pros, but they're still college. And not a lot of programs have the type of depth that Alabama has. So Alabama can still manage to compete at this level. But I think the injuries, and now that you're playing 9 games next season, I think that's going to be another wear and tear, for sure. And Antoine says he still got the 4th-1 Gravedigger. That's what's up, man. Yeah, back when, that was crazy when we had that type of gear. Oh, those good times, man. And Timothy says records are meant to be broken. Hard to beat a team twice in 1 year, right? Okay. All right. So good morning to everybody up inside the Undefeated. I really appreciate you guys being here. I just cooked up this graphic a little bit ago before I got on the show. And I look at like team rankings and kind of like a side-by-side comparison. Based off this, okay, just take a screenshot, absorb it. If you can't answer now, that's fine. Answer if you come back on the rewatch or if you have like an idea. Right here, who has the edge, right? Who has the edge in this game? And I think there's 2 factors that Oklahoma has the clear advantage on, and they're not even listed on this screen, okay? I'm going to talk about that next. But if we look at just kind of these basic metrics, okay, so like let's go through it one by one. Pass offense, and if you're here and you're like, hey, you're not talking about Coach Kalen Deboer going to Michigan, we're taking a little pause on all that stuff, okay? We're talking about like factual information, stuff that's happening. So sometimes you just need a breather from that sort of stuff. But if you want to call in during the call-in portion, which will be after my opening segment, the show is yours. Okay, so just taking a little breather. Okay, team rankings side by side. All right, on just like the core principles. So you got the passing offense. Alabama's passing offense. I know Ty Simpson has thrown 75 interceptions this year, but he has 21st in the nation. So edge Alabama, right? It's kind of I'm really disappointed. And I guess I'm really surprised, too, that John Mateer didn't have this offense cooking a little bit more. And I know maybe he comes out and they just cook up Alabama, but ranked 62nd. I remember, I thought that this dude was going to be like the top guy in the SEC. The last time they played Alabama, they held him. They did well against Oklahoma. Okay. God, look at the rush offense. Oklahoma's almost worse than Alabama. And Alabama's down there with the bottom level teams. This stat I will never get over. I cannot believe that we are here at this point in time. Like 116th? These guys they're 106th. First to run for 40 yards wins the game, I guess. Damn. Isn't this crazy? These teams are in the playoffs. Weird. All right. Total offense, Bama's 67 and Oklahoma's 88. These are playoff teams? Playoffs, I guess. Um, but here's where we get going, and here's where we get cooking. These are two teams that are clearly built off defense at this point in time, right? You have Alabama's pass defense. Look at that. Look at that number. Just incredible. 6th in the nation in pass defense. Has Alabama ever been ranked that high in pass defense? That would be a really difficult stat to cook up. That's for one of those like ESPN wizards or however you do that. That's ranked 6th in passing defense after 13 games. That's impressive. Even Oklahoma's 31 against the pass. That's even impressive. Alabama's run defense 36. I'm not mad at that. That's a number that it greatly improved year over year. Oklahoma's going to be tough to run the ball against them. Look at that. Look at those last two metrics. Their run defense is 5th. I think Auburn's was like 11th. All right. And then the total defense down here, man, look at this. Alabama's 12th on team D. I am so glad that Kane Womack, you know, because people were calling for him. But we survived that. And the team defense over here for Oklahoma, 9th. Okay. So these are two areas that are not on the screen, okay, where Oklahoma has the edge. The first one is obvious. Can anyone guess the one area where Oklahoma has the edge? The one area, it's the most obvious. It's easy. Okay. Chris from New Jersey got one of them. Home field advantage, right? Duh. But I was like, okay, and I like to really get into the weeds on stats. I'm a stat guy. So, you look, viewer discretion is advised for the next clip. But first, a super chat in for my boy, Adam Lamparello. All right, man. What a beautiful last name, by the way. Kyle, do you think that the team will go into Oklahoma with confident championship mindset that we saw in Athens, or do you worry that we will be playing nervous like we did in the SEC title game? No, I think kind of that do or die. That's actually a good question. You have to have a do or die mentality. You have to be coming out, guns blazing. And I think even from the coaches, from the players, I think that you go into this game knowing that Oklahoma could very well end your season, going against Oklahoma, a team that can very well beat you for a third consecutive time, thinking about all the things that, could happen, but you have to play fast. And I think if you have that confidence within yourself as a team, Alabama can survive this game. Alabama can beat a really good Oklahoma team. And it is about mindset, right? I do feel like they were, banged up. They might not have had the right mindset in the game against Georgia. I don't know. Georgia right now is a buzzsaw. That team is just damn good. But they better come correct. Otherwise, they'll get spanked. Okay. Otherwise, if they can't manufacture some sort of offense, Oklahoma will beat them. Okay. So you got to manufacture offense. And the thing is, Alabama did the last time they played. They really did. You're like, no, Alabama's offense did terrible. He threw an interception. Besides the interception, if you take away that interception that was absolutely game-changing, Alabama was able to run the ball in Oklahoma. Yes, they were. Look up the stats. I've shown them sometimes. Alabama couldn't pass. Yes, they did. They passed the ball great. Well, who stood out? Josh Cuevas. So they had a lot of offense. It was just, you just shot your 2 feet off. You ever ran a race when you shoot your feet off? How far are you going to go? The other area that Oklahoma has the edge, okay? And you guys already said it. This guy. Okay, so my next trivia where I talk about this Tate Sandal, all right? Who does this guy look like? I'm dead serious. He looks like somebody. Who does he look like, please? All right? Look at this dude's stats. Okay, number one, I've said this before. He kicks literally like in booty shorts. Remember when you used to have like pads, like your thigh pads and knee pads and hip pads, and you used to like loop everything through a belt? That doesn't exist anymore. Players barely even wear pads in their pants. It's crazy. This dude came out. I'm not kidding you. His shorts were like higher than his thigh. It was I never seen it before. Say what you want about how he looks. This dude can bang, okay? And they have the clear advantage right here. This dude is a weapon, okay? So I started looking at his stats and yes. He looks like Rudy Rudiger. Does he not? Does he not look like Rudy Rudiger? Right? Exactly. That's as soon as I cropped the photo, I was like, damn. I was like, that's Rudy. So Rudy Rudiger over here for Oklahoma. This dude can bang. 23 of 24 this season. That's 95%. His longest is 55. Are you kidding me? And look at these two stats over here. 8 of 9 on 40 of 49. What about this stat down here at the bottom? 7 of 7, 50 of 59? Man. Rudy. Remember when Rudy came out for practice? Remember when he quit the team? And after he went all season long and he quit and then he came back for practice and they had a new coach. Rudy. You're 5 feet nothing, 100 and nothing. Man, good movie, 100%. Yeah, and he got a sack at the end of the game. Right there, they put him in on a couple last plays of the game. Oh man. So, anyways, this guy is a weapon. And 87 says, "Yeah, great stats, Kyle. But does he have a long snapper? I guess their special team is pretty good, man. I think this is definitely a weapon. All right. So, Rudy Rudiger for them could be a game changer. Recently, Coach Kalen Deboer on the Dynasty podcast had this to say, kind of about the team's mindset and confidence. We got to find that confidence again. Get back to the fundamentals and find the easy things that bring the rhythm back." That's Coach Kalen Deboer on the Dynasty podcast. Yeah, sometimes it's just about kind of honing in on those fundamentals. And I do like what's a fundamental that Alabama's offense has to work on? Catching the ball. I know it's the craziest thing, but there's nothing much to it. All you got to do is stand up and do it. I like the best, but the one that goes best, it goes doodly doo. It's catch the ball. These guys are dropping passes. Remember what was that time when we are dropping passes? Remember when we go out there with rugby balls and tennis balls, and there was all sorts of things that we were catching? If you can catch a wrench, you can catch a football. Man, how are these guys fundamentals on offense need to just be tightened up just a little bit. But I think the fundamentals on defense, these guys are tackling well. Boom, right? Wrapping up. Open field tackling looks great. Pass protection. Good point out, Dennis. So kind of getting back to the fundamentals this week, you know what? Because this happened before to Coach Saban. The team couldn't tackle. He went out there, and Coach Saban went right over to the tackling dummy and had these guys tackle. So just kind of sometimes a reset. But you got to catch the ball, right? I mean, it's a game of football. You got to catch the ball like Kyle Pitts. Do we have any Atlanta Falcon fans? I think Anna out there loves her Falcons. Who else? Do we have any Falcon fans? Who watched the game last night? Yo, by the way, the Falcons came back and were able to beat the Buccaneers. You watch this game? So your boy has Kyle Pitts on his fantasy football team. I've always believed in Kyle Pitts. I felt he was underperforming. Last night, Kyle Pitts had 45 fantasy football points, okay? 3 touchdowns. Going into this game, he had 1 touchdown catch. So, man. Tonette, you a Falcons fan? All right. Yeah, see? So, man, fundamentals. Catch the ball, right? Kirk Cousins, what a comeback for those guys last night. All right, as you know, this is the college football playoff bracket, okay? These are the games that are taking place on next weekend, okay, on the far left. Alabama is the only team in Oklahoma that is playing on Friday night. I love it. I guess we haven't played on Friday night since Alabama and Auburn somehow played on Friday. I still don't understand why they played on Friday. But that sounds cool just for a minute. But I'm down for it. So a little Friday night football. And then after that, you have James Madison taking on Oregon, Tulane taking on Ole Miss, and then Miami taking on Texas A&M. So if we look at the odds currently by FanDuel, you will see that Alabama has at least, 1.5 against Oklahoma. These are fresh. I just got these this morning. Texas A&M favored by 3 against Miami. Ole Miss favored by 17.5 against Tulane. And then Oregon 21.5. Come on. I mean, it's frustrating for me to still see those teams make the playoffs when there's other teams I felt would have been better to round out the top 12. But anyways. And then they have some early odds about quarterfinal matchups. And what was interesting is yesterday they had Alabama in Indiana, but today they've swapped it out. So here at the bottom, we'll start at the bottom and go to the top. Oklahoma, if they beat Alabama, they would be an 8.5 point underdog to Indiana. So I guess would that be the same for Alabama? Would Alabama really be a touchdown underdog to Indiana? Wow, that would be crazy. And then over here, if Oregon's able to win, basically a pick 'em with Texas A&M, that would be a damn good football game. Really interesting. Have these two teams ever played before, right? And then let's see. Texas A&M is able to win. Then they'd be like a touchdown underdog to Ohio State. That would be an interesting game. I'd take Ohio State, though, all day. And then I guess, it has a double Ohio State. Interesting. And this one would be almost 10-point favorite against Miami. So that's kind of where we stand in terms of the odds for those quarterfinal games. And remember, the quarterfinal games take place on December 31st or January 1st. Okay, a couple things to hit on, and then I'm going to take your calls. So yesterday, Chris Lowe did an article, and he was quoted in telling Bama Online that I do not believe Coach Kalen Deboer will be the next coach at Michigan. That's pretty big. And I had a small video that went up on this. Chris Lowe is very respected reporter, okay? This guy, when he worked for ESPN, he had a hotline to Coach Saban. Coach Saban felt comfortable speaking to Chris Lowe. Everybody knew that. Chris Lowe got the scoop. Whether ESPN paid for that, who knows? But the fact was Chris Lowe got the scoop. So him talking about Alabama football and him mentioning this, I felt it was big. Now, this information is always fluid, and I still feel that Coach Kalen Deboer in Michigan, it has a little bit of wheels to it. Maybe the wheels have gotten a little bit smaller, but I still think there's a little bit too, right? And A33 says Michigan AD got fired. I didn't see if Ward got fired yet. Did he get fired? I haven't even seen that. But that would be interesting if he did, right? But going back to Coach Kalen Deboer in Michigan, is it a lateral move? Look, Michigan has the money is crazy, but the money here, they can pay you whatever you want to. But I think right now Michigan just has a little bit of like bad juju over there, right? I think he's got such, and I've been saying this, I think they're definitely interested in him. But it's got to be a two-way street. And think about the foundation and the infrastructure here at Alabama. So, I've had time to sleep on this, to think about it, and I think, the final assessment is that he's not going to Michigan, right? There might have been a time where this could have worked out, but I think what he's got right now, he's cooking. And I think that overall, a lot of it might depend on what happens Friday too, but not so much anymore. I think, people are going to be upset if Alabama was to lose, clearly. But collectively, what Coach Kalen Deboer has done, you're taking steps forward. With that said, if they do lose another game, that would match their losses that they had last year, right? So you could theoretically say, well, Coach Deboer has lost 8 games in 2 seasons. Well, this is a new world of college football, okay? You're going to lose games. It's like the NFL. Your favorite, has your NFL team, are they undefeated? How many games your NFL team lost? Yeah, so there you go. This is the NFL, period. And Byron says Michigan is looking at Tommy Rees. Man, people really like Tommy Rees. When he was over here, I just felt that he was too young, but Coach Saban really liked him, and he's maybe had time to grow up as the Cleveland Browns OC. That's a tough place to be an offensive coordinator. My goodness. All right, but Bet Online, here are the latest odds. Now, this was today, okay? I literally just grabbed this before I jumped on the show. Kalen Deboer is still among the favorites to be the head football coach for Michigan. And I do have to say, going kind of back with Chris Lowe, as dialed in as he is in the world of football, he also predicted that Lane Kiffin would stay at Ole Miss. So, I mean, he's that connected, but he missed on that one. So, just saying. All right. With the Bet Online odds, you see that Kalen Deboer is up there. Jed Fish is my favorite to take over Michigan. I think that could work out. You also have Jesse Minter, which that would be a hell of a hire. That guy's really good. The Chargers the defense is good. He's a good coach. John Gruden plus 1,000. I think that's kind of like a pipe dream for the Barstool Sports guy. And then Kenny Dillingham up there. He's too young. Joe Brady would be good, but people just throw out Joe Brady's name. No way Dan Mullen's going. Brian DeBall, no. So, I don't know. To me, like I said, I think it's going to be Jed Fish. So, let's see what happens. And then, if Jed Fish, because he's the football coach at Washington, if he takes that job, then Washington opens up. You imagine if Washington opens up? Oh, my God. Here we go again. Let me ask you a question. If Washington opened right now, would they go after Grubb? Do you think? Because over here, he's taking a pounding. Remember Matt Damon and Saving Private Ryan? That scene at the end where he's like hurled up and everybody's like the bullets are just flying. That's what Grubb is right now. Do you think that Washington would give Grubb a call? I don't think so. I think there was a time where it might have made sense, but I don't think so. Stillheart says yes. Chris from New Jersey says yes. Jarvis says no. B-Rob says, I hope they do. Yeah, I don't. Tough Man says yes. Grubb to Washington. Yeah, I don't know. I think Grubb would 100% be down for it. But who knows? And the odds are still Bama 1.5, and then the over-under 40.5. All right, before I take your calls, please remember that Alabama basketball, all right, they have a gigantic game tomorrow, okay, in Birmingham. So if you're in the area and you haven't heard of this, and from what I understand, there's still tickets available at Legacy Arena, right? They've done a great job rebuilding and kind of refurbishing Legacy Arena. Who's in town? Well, how about number 1 Arizona? Yo, this schedule that Nate Oates has is crazy. So, number 1 Arizona coming to Birmingham, the Steel City, to take on LeBaron Fallon, Nate Oates, and the Alabama Crimson Tide. Tip-off, 8:30 Central Time, TV, ESPN, Legacy Arena. Wow, Cats. Got to fix that. Wow, Cats. There you go. Edits on the fly. With a 63% chance to win this game. Geez, 63%? Damn. I think we missed a super chat from Adam, too. My bad, Adam. I'll go back to that in just a second. Alabama is 7-2. All right. They've won 4 in a row. 2 wins against top 10 teams. 2 losses against top 10 teams. Fallon is scoring 21.4 points per game. So, Alabama basketball in action on Saturday night. So, this is a big deal, okay? Anytime a number 1 comes to the home state, if Alabama is able to beat Arizona, I mean, shoot, that would be a gigantic win. You look at who they've already played, right? St. John's, Gonzaga, Purdue, Illinois. These are damn good teams. And let's see. And before I take your calls, Adam with one more super chat, which I appreciate, man. Thank you so much. Kyle, I see this game is very similar to the Auburn game, talking about Alabama and Oklahoma. We'll face a great defense, but contain their offense. If we don't turn it over, we win 24-21. Yeah, I could see something like that. I think it is similar to the Auburn game. With that said, Auburn was able to move the football against Alabama. And while they didn't have a lot of points, they had a lot of yards. Like Ashton Daniels, he cooked. Like stat-wise, it was weird. It was like it didn't seem like they were moving the ball, but like once you like zoomed out and looked at the stats, like Auburn moved the ball. And if they could catch the ball, I don't know what's up with Auburn's wide receivers or Alabama's wide receivers, or like, is something going on in the state of Alabama, but man, these guys can't catch the ball. Right? So appreciate the super chat though. All right. So as you know, fam, this video is also powered by Sleeper. Download the app itself. You get $20 upon the entry. You can make more or less picks. Is Ty Simpson going to throw for more than 250, 270? I haven't seen the official Sleeper numbers, but I put one myself. The Sleeper poll right now inside the comment box reads, will Ty Simpson throw for more or less than 270 yards versus Oklahoma? And 58% of you say yes, while 42% you say no. I think that's a tough one, right? 270 yards against Oklahoma. Man, the past doesn't dictate the future. He better, because I don't think they're going to be able to run the ball, okay, against Oklahoma. And I'm optimistic that Jam Miller comes back. He's got to throw the ball. They got to be able to throw the ball to win the game. All right, so I'm going to say yes. Final answer. But remember, if you get Sleeper, you get a $100 deposit match up to $100. Use the promo code, which is Tailgate. Tailgate is a promo code available in 25 states. I know there's many of you that play Sleeper inside the comment box, so please support them as they support your boy right here, Bama Football on YouTube. All right. Other ways that you can support the show, before I take your calls, you can hit the notifications, right? So you are always notified when I upload a video, and I'm constantly uploading videos and doing different things on the channel, so definitely don't want to miss anything. Hit the thumbs up on the video. I know it's like, what? The thumbs up? Does it really help? Yes. The thumbs up, I promise you, it helps. So, and it's free. It takes 1 microsecond to do. You can become a fan funder, right? You can use some emojis inside the comment box. This is another way. There's different tiers. It's very easy to do, very easy to sign up, cancel, whatever you want to do, fan fund. Super chats go a long way, like Adam Lamparello, right? I mean, this guy's carrying the show. So I appreciate you, Adam, inside the comment box. Super chats go a long way. Follow us on social media. I got a really big Facebook channel, 75,000 fans that are Alabama football fans that go crazy, and it's a pretty big community, way bigger than I thought it'd be. And then I got my Venmo on here. I got the Cash App, and then, of course, if you want to hit that join button right there, you can become a fan funder. So thank you so much. I really appreciate all you guys' support. Wake Up Bama drops every day at 4 a.m., and my pledge, and something that I feel that I'm kind of built out of, is consistency and performance, right? I know there's a lot of great content creators. I know there's a lot of great websites. I know there's a lot of great, everything. I don't worry about any of that. I have respect for everybody in those respective lanes, but all I can do is work on my consistency and my performance and my delivery and treat people with respect, and then you kind of just let the chips fall where they may. It's a tough space to be in as a content creator. I'm not going to lie. But, work is work, and I've never been afraid to work. I mean, I've been really an entrepreneur for like 21 years, just straight up by myself, which is crazy to think about. So with that said, let's take some calls on this Feel Good Friday. The number is 205-850-1994. When you call into the show, please note that there's someone probably behind you inside the comment box that also wants to call in and kind of, give their assessment on the state of the program or whatever. So be courteous. We'll make some points. I'll take, plenty of calls, and that'll, kind of be how the program operates. So with that said, let's go to the phone lines, and we have Chris from New Jersey batting in the leadoff spot. Chris, welcome to the show, man. Thanks for joining us on this Feel Good Friday.
Kyle, happy Friday, brother. I'm having a little withdrawal since I wasn't able to call in earlier in the week. First, I want to preface what my first subject. Forgive me, I got a few subjects. Ooh, can you hear me, Kyle?
Yeah, I'm here. Yep.
Oh, sorry. So I think it's 0% chance that Deboer leaves. And so I don't want to argue with my pal Dan in the chat, because he's my pal. But I don't know if anybody knows, but I keep on telling you that my brother-in-law works for Sports Illustrated. So I always immediately, and he sends me stuff like Penn State's going to steal your coach. I'm like like just to mess with me.
Yeah.
But he comes and watches the games. I've turned him into a Bama fan. So anyway, there is 100%. A no poach clause in Deboer's contract, 100%. And it's not $4 million. That's not true. My brother-in-law is like, you think they're going to give a guy $87 million and let him walk out the door by being poached from another team for $4 million? No chance. But anyway, I'm not arguing because it's not going to happen. And also, I don't know if you remember, and by the way, if it was $54 million, I love DeBoer. I'd take the $54 million and say to Courtney Morgan, hey, we'll give you $5 million a year and let's bring Saban back. But yeah, that's just a joke. It's not going to happen. But and I mean, I don't know if you ever, remember like a long time ago, like Courtney Morgan, interview when he first came to Bama. He goes, yeah, when I was at Michigan and we couldn't, when we heard that Bama was coming, we wouldn't even get a meeting with the high school coaches. Dan, I'm seeing Dan in the chat. No, Dan, we're in the playoffs, baby. Nothing but love and just win, baby. So, all right. So now, let's go off that silly DeBoer stuff because he's staying, and they just got and not just my opinion, but like a lot of places have that Bama's recruiting class is the number one in the country, right? Especially because, and hear me out. Do you know why the other teams have, are above us? Because they have a quarterback in there. Now we have good quarterbacks in there. Keelan Russell is, in my opinion, the best quarterback in the country for next year. So, if you took him and put him in there, we would be number ones. So there. So now let's talk about a quick Ty Simpson chat. Now, and this is also coming from my brother-in-law, the sports writer. So evidently, pre-snap, the NFL believes that Ty Simpson is the number one quarterback in the country, the college quarterback, because he's pre-snap. He understands the defenses and he calls out. Now, that's not been working for us. It's all on Grubb's shoulders because he's not giving the right plays, right? In the NFL, they will give him the plays where he's like, boom, boom, I see what they're doing. It's all the pre-snaps. So he's a first round pick. He's gone, but so I think he's going to play better going in. I'm praying. So Ty is gone. Keelan's going to be the coach, be the starting quarterback. We're going to have a great year next year. We're not going to talk about that because right now we got just win, baby, Oklahoma. Mm-hmm. We're going to go into Oklahoma and beat them. I think we're going to beat Indiana, and we're going to be and watch these fools that are like, oh, Ty Simpson's hurt. They're going to be the same guys that say Ty Simpson's hurt are going to be the ones. Ty Simpson, he should be in the Heisman. It's too late because the guys locked it up from Indiana, but he should be in the conversation. Yeah. So give me a break. So Ty is our guy. We're in the playoffs. Kyle, can you imagine last Christmas time last year? Everything was we're gonna sign somebody because we're crying. We weren't in the playoffs. We're in. So I know these Michigan people need clickbait. Look what's going on with that coach. That's sick, right? And very interesting. Last thing, and then I'll go. I'm sorry for ranting so long, but I didn't call on Tuesday, Kyle. So Larry Ellison is the one that his wife is a Michigan grad. He's the one who ponied up, and of course with the guy from the Barstool, and they ponied up for that what's his name, Underwood, and they're first of all, Ellison's he's trying to buy Netflix or something right now, right? So they're preoccupied, and they're all pissed off because this guy wants more money. And so rumor is they're not going to. It's going to be like the situation at Tennessee. They're not going to give the guy more money, and supposedly LSU is going to pay this guy. He's going to play. We're going to face him next year. We'll beat him. It's okay, but he's going to be Lane Kiffin project. So all right, that's my rants, Kyle. Thank you for taking my call, my brother. Happy Friday. My best to you. My best to the undefeated. Next week's going to be a great week for us. We're going to be talking about being in the playoffs and beating Oklahoma. So have a wonderful day. Everybody in the undefeated, have a great weekend. Stay warm and roll Tide, brother.
Thanks, Chris. I appreciate it. All right, Chris from New Jersey. All right, let's take Timothy. Timothy, what's up, man? Where are you on the road? You survive Illinois? Where are you at these days, man?
I'm in Illinois again. Sadly, it snowed last night, and it was like super foggy this morning. But it's all good. We in the clear now, baby. I'm about to deliver this load.
All right, man.
30 miles away. So.
Come with it, Timothy. Welcome to the program. Come in, man.
Yes, sir. I got 3 hot takes, and people might say I'm delusional, but I was listening to Joel Klatt talk to some podcast, whatever, he joined in, and he said that Kirk Cignetti loves tall quarterbacks. And the first thing that came into my mind was Austin Mack. He said that ever since James Madison, he's had an average height of a quarterback 6'5.5" or taller. My hot take is Austin Mack will be poached from Alabama to go to Indiana after Fernando Mendoza goes to the draft because he is the second or the third tallest quarterback in the entire nation. I think he's second. So I believe Indiana's going to poach him, which leaves Alabama with Jet Thamala, Hayden Kawa, and, of course, our boy Keelan. I have a hot take that Keelan next year is going to be the most accurate quarterback in the country, and he will lead Alabama to a 12-1 season. The only loss, I don't want to predict that loss yet because, I don't want to give bad juju on Alabama or nothing. But I also believe there's a quote from the Karate Kid when he was telling his Chinese girlfriend that too much of something is bad. I believe that Ty Simpson in Alabama right now, they've been going so hard with all these big games against Georgia, the SEC championship, the playoffs. They're so worried about the outside noise that they're not controlling everything internally. And I think they're just so tired. So you give them 2 weeks, I think Grubb and I think this Bama offense will find something, which leads to my third and final hot take. Alabama will average 4.5 to 5 yards per carry next Friday, and we will have a over 100-yard rushing game as a team, and I believe that's what will lead Alabama to win 30-20. But I'll also call in next week to probably change that score. But those are my 3 hot takes, Kyle. I am so confident in this team after a bye week because I think getting the guys healthier is the main thing. And then after they're healthy, because I think you said Auburn has the 11th ranked run defense.
Yeah.
And Jam Miller, when he was running hard, he was getting yardage. And if he is able to play, I think Jam Miller needs to run angry. I think Ty needs to use his legs and run angry. The whole team that can run the ball needs to run angry because of what Oklahoma did to us in our barn. And then I believe what Chris said, we'll beat Indiana. I kind of still think they're frauds. Well, not frauds, but pretenders a little bit because Ohio State, they're getting in the playoffs regardless. Oregon, they fumbled the bag, the win so bad, it's laughable. And then Penn State, they couldn't defend a 4th and 20. So, those are 3 games that I think Oregon's better than us offensively. But if we can just come with it and just find something consistent, not too fancy, just consistent, I think we can go a long way.
I appreciate the call, man. Thanks for calling in, Timothy. Be safe on the road, bro. Timothy with some good optimism calling in. Yeah, appreciate. Remember Mr. Miyagi? It got me thinking about Karate Kid. Remember that? What was that thing that he had? Does anybody know what I've never seen another one in my life. Maybe it's somewhere from Japan. I don't know. What was it? It looked like, this is a bad, it was kind of like this and he rubbed it together. And it had 2 little drums on it. What was that thing? You know what I'm saying? Mr. Miyagi. I am the man who will fight for your honor. What was that song? That was a banger. Oh, Gloria Love? All right, 346. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who am I online with? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Cal, it's me.
What's up, Jay?
Statistical. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I still haven't caught the line, man. So thanks for calling in, bro. Welcome to the show, man.
It's cool. First of all, I make sure I wrote down what I had to say this time. Some people just rambling here and there. Does the hype on YouTube? when we hype your videos, does it help the views?
I don't
Does
know.
it help push the video?
I don't even know what a hype is. I saw like hype. So, fam, inside the comment box, you can hype like a video. Okay, like if I upload it, you can hype it. I don't know if that's like a thumbs up or what it is, but if you see hype, hit hype. Yeah. So there you go, Jay. Like I don't know.
I think you only get like 3 a week. Yeah, I want to say, but I give you all 3 of mine. So you get all 3 for me.
Thank you, dog. I appreciate you always being in my corner, man. So where you want to take it, man? There's a lot of topics that we could go. So your show, go ahead.
Yeah. So my
Oh man,
what you said on Wake Up Bama.
Yeah. Hold on. There was a little bit of static. Come with it again.
I'm sorry. I said, well, I actually want to go through. I want to go to what you said on Wake Up Bama.
Okay.
You said who would you bring back?
Yeah.
I would bring back. My answer would be Bryce Young. He didn't have an OC when he was here. So yes, Ryan Grove's not the best right now, but I feel like with Bryce Young, he will cook. Ryan Grove will cook with Bryce Young. My other 2 people, you said one person, but I got 2 more. Derrick Henry and Jahmyr Gibbs. Because we need the experience in running back. Right now, Jahmyr, the only experience we have, he's hurt. And that shows. The experience of running back, I feel like it helps, in my opinion. And on a side note, my question for you is, do you think Justin Haynes get back in the portal?
Justice Haynes. Oh, by the way, fam, I asked you guys, which 2 players from the past would you like to add to this team? Like, as if they could come back and play right now. The Justice Haynes, I don't know. I don't know. I saw like a rumor that Bryce Underwood like removed like Michigan from his title. I don't know if that's true or not. Justice Haynes, man, he went up there and he did work, right? I mean, say what you want, but that guy was running all over every time I look at the highlights, it'd be like, and in Ann Arbor, Michigan, Justice Haynes run for 120 yards. I was like, man, he never really got it.
Pissed, Cal. Right. I was like, why can't you do that here?
I know. And when he got in here, he had maybe a flash or 2 where he did that, but man, sometimes flowers bloom at different times, and that's just part of life. So I don't know. But he looked nice, and then he got banged up. So hopefully he comes back at full steam. Does he hit the transfer portal? I have no idea, man. Your guess is as good as mine. Anything else, Jay?
No, that's it, Kyle. I want to say I appreciate you, Kyle. I love you, Kyle.
Thanks,
God's the greatest.
Yeah, God is the greatest.
Tide.
All right, man. Roll Tide. Happy Friday. All right, Jay, coming from a new phone line, 346. All right, we got 501. Let's take it. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on line with, and where are you calling in from?
What's going on, Kyle? This is Dennis in Arkansas.
Dennis, what's up, man? I appreciate you joining the show. Welcome on in. Go ahead.
Couple things. I don't know. People tend to forget it. I went back and watched the game the other night, the first Oklahoma game. We played probably one of our best games that game as far as total team effort. But I don't know if you remember this or not. We had 2 dropped interceptions straight in a player's hand. 2 dropped interceptions, 2 fumbles that clearly we should have gotten that would have swung that game. And so I just think that if we play a clean game, I just don't think Oklahoma matches up with us. We clearly have the best team. When you go roster to roster, we just got to come out and play our game. And we got to take advantage of the advantages that we do get because they have such a stellar defense, because they're clearly going to do that. Yeah. Their defense is clearly going to do that. If they get an opportunity, they're going to take advantage of it. And that's the mindset that we have to have going into this game if we want to win it. Another thing, on Ty, I just don't. We're getting all these zero blitzes from team to team. I guess you could say it started back when we played LSU. I just don't know why he's so reluctant to run the ball when they come after him like that. That's kind of been bothering me through all these games, LSU, Oklahoma, Auburn. You know, it's kind of bothered me that you could clearly see the green grass. I mean, when they send them, they send them. But you can clearly see the green grass, and I think he's just overthinking it, Kyle. He's putting too much pressure on himself.
Yep.
I've thought
the same thing, bro. I've thought I've told you my stance on the whole injury thing. I think that fans are just protecting him. I don't think he's injured at all. I mean, it would be irresponsible for the guys to continue to play him. He's a tough cat, by the way. I mean, the guy's taking some shots. I would imagine he's sore,
right,
bruised, whatever it is. But, man, I think from just watching Ty from the outside and understanding the type of competitor he is, I think he's micromanaging himself. And it's like, I don't know, for any of you guys that play golf, it's very easy to do. Start micromanaging your swing. Start, like, as soon as you start ripping it with your irons, you're like, okay, I'm in. And something goes off and you get in your head. You hit one bad shot and you're done, right? It's very easy to play against guys like that. If you play, like, you play your buddy at golf, like one-on-one, you know he was weak. If he's a head case, you're going to win every single time. Right? Like, and I think like he's micromanaging himself because he's like a coach. I think if Ty kind of plays like Diego Pavia, where he's just like, I don't give, and just lets his athleticism and his ability just take over, you probably have one of the top quarterbacks there is, period. Because he does have the ability, he does have the athleticism, he has the knowledge, he has the skill sets, he has the IQ. I think he's just micromanaging himself. And when we do that, what do they call it? Analysis paralysis, right? Is when you think about too many things, you just freeze up and you just hand the ball off to Caden Proctor. So it's if he can just play his game, man, that the guy can cook, and he did cook against Oklahoma the last game. So right. I mean, he did. Right.
The only thing is, and the reason you know he's in his head, Kyle, there's plenty of proof. The proof that he's in his head is, you get the ball, you get the time clock down to 5 or 4 seconds before you snap the ball, and the play still doesn't work, you know, because he's overthinking it. You know, sometimes you just got to go out and play ball. He's got to play loose. I mean, he's trying to get to the right play every time and yada, yada, yada. What happened with just whoop the guy in front of you? You know, that's the mentality that our team has lost without a Nick Saban, is what I would say. You got to just whoop the guy in front of you. Every single play, your mission is to whoop the guy in front of you.
Yeah, make them quit, right? Make them quit.
Yeah, make them quit. Yeah. You know, make them fear you.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the mentality that we don't have anymore. And that's why it looks so different.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are my couple points, Kyle.
I appreciate you, Dennis.
Another thing, I think if we get past Oklahoma, I think the country's in trouble.
Yeah,
Kyle.
Me too.
I really do.
Yeah. I like that.
I really do.
I like that top side of the bracket.
That's the only
for
hurdle that we have. If we get past Oklahoma, I think that's going to put the confidence in these guys to make a run. Yeah. And clearly, we have a team to make a run. We did it during the season, and the competition is almost nowhere different because a couple of those teams that we did beat during that run could possibly be playoff teams.
Playoffs?
You know? So,
all right, Dennis, good call.
Now that we're in the playoffs, it's no different. You know?
It's not, man.
It's no different.
Yeah, good call, Dennis. I appreciate it, bro. Yep. Call in again. All right. Dennis calling in from Arkansas with the solid call. Appreciate it, man. And Jamie said inside the comment box that he's got the dentist on the line. Good luck to you. And then we had Jay said that it's his birthday tomorrow, man. So, Jay, You know, hey, it's Saturday. We don't have a game. You got a basketball game, so you can let your hair down a little bit, man, and go crazy. What'd you say? You're 35? You're a baby. Did you say how old did you say you were? Let's see. He super chatted somewhere up in here. He's 35. Oh my goodness, you're a baby. All right, you're a baby dog. All right, Dan Caraway, where you been, man? Let's see. Dan Caraway says this. If Ty Simpson is injured, I believe he might have been a situation where the coaches didn't want that info out before the selection show and have kind of a FSU thing. Ooh, that's interesting, right? Because if Ty is hurt, right, it kind of like, remember when Florida State didn't make it? That's interesting. There's a lot of smart people out there. That is interesting. Dan Caraway, I appreciate you, man. Thanks for bringing that hypothesis to the show. All right, 706, let's do it.
Hey, this is Ben from Augusta.
Love it. Well, welcome on in,
Hey,
Ben. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. Got a few points here. I love the FSU take. I'm going to hit on that in just a second. But Bama's better than Michigan simply because of script A.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, like anything with the Dallas Cowboys. That star means something. That script A means something. Doesn't matter if you're winning or losing.
Love it.
I think also, Grubb, people need to forget, like, this is one of the best offensive play callers that we've ever had and that's ever been in college football. I think a lot of people probably need to give grace to Ty for all that. We got to realize, like, he's winding this clock down to the last second, trying to make all these audibles and reads, but that's also because the offensive concepts are so in-depth.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just like, hey, line up, make sure we're blocking this guy and run the ball. We don't have a run team. So these receiving concepts have got to be ridiculously hard. I mean, maybe not, but I think that's a lot of it. I think also defenses now have been able to scheme and change up their play calls against us. You know, they know that we can't run the ball and they know we have no deep threat. So it's kind of like shrink the field and play into that, change up their coverages, confuse them, do all that. And then when he's trying to make these reads, they're just not there. I mean, a lot of these games when you see, it's hard to see on TV, but these receivers are not open. And there's a few that maybe Ty can hit, but most of them, they're not open. And I think he's just trying to contain that ball, not wanting to, have turnovers. And so, now he's kind of getting in his head a little bit. The anxiety is definitely kind of creeping up on him, but he definitely is beat up. This whole injury concern, I for sure think it could be possible. There's no real, take on it. There's been some reports that at the award ceremony, he looked like he was real hurt on his back and he's been on the sidelines doing therapy and whatnot. But we all know he's been taking massive hits. I thought he was going to be out with a concussion after some of those hits, and he could have some minor delays going on. And because of the whole selection committee, I think Bama probably felt fairly comfortable going into the SEC championship game that we were in, no matter what. And so, of course, we wouldn't make a quarterback change going into that game. I mean, Ty's a captain. He's led us the entire year. He's been one of the best quarterbacks in the country. He's regressed, but also the team has regressed. Guys are dropping passes. We're not running. We're not separating routes. I mean, there's a lot of factors at play. So you definitely wouldn't make a quarterback change then, especially with the concept that most likely you are in the playoff, whether you win or lose. Few things go badly and you lose, but still, the whole fourth down, on our own 11-yard line. I love it. I love the mentality of we're going out there with a game mentality that we're winning. We don't have the beef to just run the ball, so you got to do whatever it takes to win. Same thing, we watched 17 years of Saban going into halftime with all 3 timeouts. Can't stand it. Deboer now is actually using timeout, giving us a 2-minute, drill to try to run down the field. And that's when Ty's been at his best. When he doesn't have to think about all the concepts that are going on, he just runs up to the ball, slings it. That's when he's money. So we got to get back to that. Hurry up. I think the other reason is he wasn't going to bench him is no different than Milroe last year. The team buys in. He's led your team. He's a leader on the team. It's really hard to bench that guy. I think if there is an injury, now then the playoffs, I had posted the other day, it's a business decision for Deboer because, if he plays Ty and he is banged up or beat up and he doesn't do great, you've got to pull him and play a different guy. We've rotated every other position on the team to put playmakers in.
Yep.
And so, like I said, I mean, if I don't think Ty has done enough to go to the pro at this point, and I definitely think he would be better to come back. And I don't think anybody would be wrong to say that it would be bad for him to come back. I mean, if he came back, he by far would be the best quarterback in the country starting next year because of the history and what he's done this year and time to grow. But in today's day and age with these recruiting, aspects, you can't have, Russell sitting on the sideline one more year. There's no way that's going to fly.
Yep.
So that dude's out if Ty comes back. Now, it could be bad for us, but look what happened to Julian Sayin. Same thing. Ty stays, Sayin's gone. And look where he is now. So, I mean, the proof is in the pudding that it'll work somewhere else if these quarterbacks want it. We say they're bought into Bama, but, you don't really know at the end of the day. Even Ryan Williams, I mean, Bama boy, but you never know what kind of bag comes flying. But, yeah, I mean, if Simpson's hurt, I'd say, okay, first half, if he's still missing throws and doing all this, that, isn't winning us the game, you may have to make, a change, put a playmaker in there that at least doesn't give you, maybe the floor could be a little lower, but just with Milroe, like what he had with him, the ceiling is undeniably higher, I think, with Russell or maybe even Mac. And the fact that we don't have a run game, you bring in a dual threat quarterback, good luck. That's about all I got.
Thanks for calling in, Ben. I appreciate the call, man. All right. Ben calling in with some points on Ryan Grubb and Ty Simpson. Yeah. I want to think about Ryan Grubb more because, like, I love to take in your points of view and then think about it because right now, I do appreciate those that have, that do support Ryan Grubb and think about him as an offensive coordinator. It's one of the areas it's just I'm not happy about. So hearing other points of view sometimes helps me look at things a different angle. I'm willing to, go into this other game a little bit more optimistic and hopefully, he can cook up some things that I feel more comfortable about. And another thing that I learned too is like how we were really hard on Womack last year, right? Were we not? And it took him time to kind of settle in because let's face it. I mean, be honest. Who said bad things about Womack last year? I think we all did. Remember how hot we were? And then in this second year, well, after that first game, we got cooking. And we really haven't looked back. I mean, now the defense is like, he's up for the Broyles Award. I don't know if that award has been announced yet, but I know he's a finalist, I think, for the Broyles Award, which goes to the best assistant in the country. Think about that. So who knows? Let's take our next call, 256. Hey, how's it going? You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from? Hey, 256, what's up? 256?
Yes, sir. Hope you're having a good day today.
What's up, bro? Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
This is Todd. I'm another driver. I'm on the road.
Okay, Todd. Welcome to the show, man. I appreciate you.
I appreciate you. I mean, your show has become like a comedian show. I mean, Alabama's complete trash. I don't see why y'all believe in Deboer at all. Mm-hmm. The best thing that could happen is for him to go to Michigan. Michigan ain't that dumb, though. I mean, Ty Simpson hasn't regressed. He's the only thing on the offense that's working. Drop passes. The wide receivers drop passes. The running backs can't block. The line is complete what you call shit. And Womack's defense is it's okay in the SEC, but he ain't going to make it against real competition. Mm-hmm. That's just being real. I remember when you said Indiana wasn't that good, and here they are. I mean, they're sitting out. Alabama's lucky to be in. That's just the truth of things. The days of Alabama being good are gone until they get another coach. I have no clue why anybody believes in Deboer. He took over the great thing, and he turned it into shit. Complete shit.
Let me ask you a couple. This is interesting. Let me ask you a couple things because I was going over a couple notes this morning, kind of regarding like almost literally like the opposite of what you're talking about. So let me bring those up real quick. And I was thinking like from like a optimistic standpoint, like how do you feel about like, are you an Alabama fan? Or are you a fan of another team?
I'm a former Alabama fan. I was an Alabama fan until Malachi Moore hit that ball at Vanderbilt.
Got you. Okay. So let me ask you this from like the other side of the tracks now that I don't know whoever you're rooting for. How have you felt about like the foundational recruiting that Deboer has done? Because I start there. I'm like, did recruiting drop off after Coach Saban? And like, how would you assess the recruiting? Because the recruiting over here, in my opinion, and I've talked about that many times, has been phenomenal. What's your take on the recruiting and the guys that he has, kind of in the pipes as like sophomores and freshmen? Go ahead.
I think the state of Alabama has a lot of smart people in it with a lot of smart mom and dads, and he can't recruit inside the state. He can recruit from California because, Californians are idiots. He has a lot of fools go, but people in Alabama love football, and he's not recruiting inside the state. He couldn't recruit his own players. I mean, I think the best thing for like Ryan Williams, who's got the gifts or whatever, he probably should transfer to Ohio State and learn to catch a little bit and make millions when he goes pro. He's not going to do that here. I mean, he got coached the shit coaching him. I mean, they're not good. They are not good. Jeremy Bernard is a guy I feel really bad for. Deboer fooled him twice. Fooled him to go into Washington and fooled him to following him all the way to Alabama. I mean, that poor guy. I mean, he's probably gonna make it in the pros. But
did you say you said your name was Todd, right?
Yes, sir.
All right, Todd. Let me ask you a question before I go, bro. Where is it Xavier Crowell and Cedarian Morgan from?
Well, I mean, if you had to Google like the 7 players from Alabama, I mean, come on.
But where they?
I have no clue where they're actually from.
All right, Todd. Thanks for calling in, bro. I appreciate you, man. See ya. All right, that's Todd on the road. Be safe on the road, bro. Does anybody know where Xavier Crowell and Cedarian Morgan are from? Type inside the comment box. All right, let's see. 240. Let's take this call.
Hey, Kyle, this is Andy G up in Hagerstown, Maryland. How are you today, bro?
What's up, Andy G? How you doing, man? Thanks for calling in. I appreciate it.
I saw somebody complaining it was 51 in Montgomery. I'll trade you.
What is it up there?
About 29 here. About a half hour ago, it was 29.
Yeah, we got 55 over here, so it's actually not too bad. I might be able to take off this little top, and I might be cooking. Yeah, this morning for workouts, it was 32 degrees. So if you guys know, I'm part of F3 Fitness Fellowship and Faith, and it's a men's only workout group. Every single morning, 5:30, rain or shine. That's kind of how I get kind of the mental clarity. But anyways, man, Andy G, come with it, bro. I appreciate you coming in.
All right, I'll make a couple quick points.
Yeah.
Because you asked who would you bring back, right?
Yeah.
From past out. How come nobody mentioned an offensive lineman? I'd bring back Pierce Baker. I'd bring back Womack. I'd bring back Alex Leatherman. Everybody bringing all these offensive players back, but if you ain't got a hold to run in, what's the point?
Landon Dickerson. How about, you know what? Who is our best right tackle? Watch the undefeated. Who's the best right tackle? Could we bring that actually? That's what we need. Who's that? Damn it! I should have said that, Andy. Who's the best right tackle that Bama's had within the last 7-8 years? Because that's what we need. We need a really good right tackle and shoot. And I said Jahmyr Gibbs and Will Riker, but I'll take a right tackle and Will Riker, and I think you're straight, right? So,
yeah.
I don't know. What else you got, Angie?
All right. So you a stats guy, right?
I love them.
Okay, I'm an X's and O's guy. So I guess I grew up with too many coaches around me, right? So here's what I'm waiting for. Because Brent Venables has got 2 weeks to prepare. He's going to have a blitz package just waiting on us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when are they going to And you commented on that, a comment I left in the chat box, I guess, yesterday, with 2 tight end sets and a back. But when you going to start moving the pocket? Because when you move Ty and you move the pocket a little bit left or right, then you make linebackers, you make cornerbacks commit, right? Because Ty is a threat to run. And the only way you're going to beat the blitz is to get the ball out of his hands, shorten the route, right, and throw behind the blitz.
Yeah.
So if we do that, then the coaches prepared them. If that is not the scheme, then that's on the coaches. You know, when it's on the players, if you got turnovers, you got bad decisions, you fumble, that's on the players. But if you have a scheme where you're not prepared for that blitz, that's on the coaches. Straight up.
I've been asking for this a long time because you kind of go with the X's and O's. I've been calling for like a RPO or crossing routes. Like I do feel that we do have wide receivers that can run some crossing patterns that could be effective in doing that. And I think that is great when they're sending the house. I mean, you really want to have somebody chasing down Lazier or Brooks after he's done like, you know, a 3-yard, and I'm not talking like a 10-yard crossing. I'm talking like a 4-yard crossing pattern across the middle, just something across the blitz. It would be, you know, it would be deadly, to be honest. So, and we don't do that at all.
It would be.
It would they, and I don't,
no,
they do not do that whatsoever. Actually, it would be very interesting to go back for like, you know, maybe like a guy like the film guy or somebody who's like really into the breakdown of the stats. How many slants or quick patterns across the middle have we done this year? It doesn't seem like it seems like none. I don't know, right? It seems like very little are we attacking with short kind of intermediate stuff over the middle.
Well, when it's Jeremy Bernard, right? We tried doing a Ryan Williams, but he was going to get killed because he ain't really big enough to be running that route. But if you think about it, and probably my favorite, well, I'd have to say Johnny Musso is my favorite of all time. I just gave my age away. But Devontae Smith carried that Heisman straight to New York off slant routes and crossing routes, did he not?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, without question.
And and think about like Jalen Waddle. I mean, that guy was so dangerous over the middle, right?
He was, but yeah, when you like find another one of him, I'm afraid there's only one of him. But anyway, that's what they need to do. And X's and O's on the defense side of the ball, as long as they do what they did to Diego Pavia, right? You ain't got a sack material to be effective, right? All you got to do is bother him, which is what they're doing to Ty.
Mm-hmm.
So what you got to do with material is you got to make sure when you don't have to sack him, you got to cage him in. If you get up past him when his drop, right? He might have 5-step drop, 7-step drop. If our pass rush or our defensive linemen get up past him, you got lanes that you can run a Mack truck through, right? So what they need to do is just get in his face, don't get past him, and cage him in and make him make a decision with his arm. If they do that, we're going to beat them.
Yep. All right, man. Thanks for the call, Andy G. I appreciate you calling in, man. Stay warm.
Yes, be blessed, brother.
All right, you too, man. All right, 205. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. This is Neil Skipworth. How are you this morning?
What's up, buddy? I appreciate you calling in, man. Welcome to the show. Where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Sylacauga, Alabama.
All right, man.
Here,
yeah.
Around Talladega.
Yep. Got
hey, man, I got a question. For you.
All right.
All right. We think Ty Simpson's gone to the NFL next year. Let me ask you this. The Ty that you see now, how is the Ty Simpson in the NFL with a running game?
Man, probably pretty good. Not as dangerous as like a Jackson Dart, but maybe something like that. I mean, I think like who is he comparable to? Because I still feel that he hasn't featured his legs a lot. Give this guy a running game. I mean, he's got short intermediate. The only problem that I see with him right now is just kind of like a deep ball accuracy. But then again, when he throws something deep, the guys can't catch it. The guys are covered, whatever. So, but I still like him. I mean, and I think that he's going to for sure go to the NFL.
Right. I think what happened earlier in the season, if you go back to the Georgia game, this is where I think the wheels come off for Ryan Williams. When he had the open touchdown down the middle, I think it was on the very first drive of the game, and he dropped the ball. It's been downhill ever since.
Mm-hmm.
And the kid's got all the talent in the world, and I hope he don't leave. I hope some people want him to go Ohio State and blah. The kid, I'm not sure. I didn't look it up, but I wonder how Smitty done in his second year. I don't remember. I mean, he won a Heisman. Devontae was a special talent.
Yeah.
But with history and stats, I know you love those stats. There's a lot of these receivers really struggle for some reason or another in their second year. I don't know what it is. I don't know why they call it the sophomore slump.
Interesting.
But if Alabama cannot put together a running game, you can put Bryce Young, A.J. McCarron, Brett Favre back there. I don't care who you put back there. If they're running for their life every single play with no offensive line that can protect the quarterback, you're going to have what we have. And I'm going to be honest, I'm surprised at the Florida State game. I'm surprised right now they're 10-3. I didn't see it. I thought we were going to be a Florida State record at the end of the season. I mean, it was that bad. I don't think Ryan Grubb is helping the situation with offense. Mm-hmm. Play calling, there's no creativity. We line it up against Georgia in the SEC championship game. We run it up the middle 3 times and punt. You got to have a running game. That's one thing I'll say about Saban. He had corners and he had running backs. You agree?
Yeah. Hell yeah, he did. Yeah, I mean, he micromanaged the corners, and the running backs were just, I mean, even when kind of we went through this metamorphosis, when we started kind of going more with like the kind of the new age quarterback, I think there was a big change at the quarterback position literally right when I got here, right? You went from quarterbacks in 2016 to 2017. It was right when we kind of changed from like Jalen Hurts over to like the Tua Tagovailoa, the Mac Jones, the Bryce Young. Like that's when I got here. And even with that said, like Bryce Young, when he got here, 2021, you had Brian Robinson, who ran for 1,300. Bryce threw for 4,700. You had Mac Jones, who threw for almost 5,000. You still had Najee Harris. So, yeah, I still feel there's a big disconnection from, with the running game over the past 2 years. And I don't know. Right now, I've been disappointed with Grubb, and I do feel that there's a lot going on with the offense. I could point to a lot of different places. Price starts up front. It is on Grubb. It is on Ty. I don't think it's like one singular thing that's going wrong with the offense right now, unfortunately.
And what's the kid, the running back? Is it Crowell? Is that his name, the running back?
Yeah, Xavier Crowell. Yeah, 2020. Yep.
I watched, after I watched your show, I went and watched his highlights. Great runner.
For sure.
All the ability in the world.
Yep.
But if this offensive line next year, whenever he plays, if they cannot open holes, I mean, I know running backs have the talent, but you still got to have an offensive line. And I don't know. Grubb he doesn't. I mean, his history is he cannot run the ball.
Yep.
And I mean, it's like trying to eat dessert without the whipped cream. You can't just expect a running back to make plays with no blocking. You can't expect a quarterback to make throws with no protection. And I don't know. I think they can play Saturday next Friday night. I think they can play with them. But Kyle, I don't know, man. I don't, with them being at home and their defense and Kyle looking sometimes. And I have to agree with people because Ty looks like sometimes he's a deer in the headlights. I mean, it's just and I don't know if it's because he runs for his life. I don't know if it's because, it's play calling or what. But I'm dead tired of him running the play clock all the way down to 1 second and having to barely snap the ball. I mean, that's ticked me off.
I know.
Year.
I'm even yelling at the TV for him to snap the ball too, man. But I appreciate the call, man. Call again next time, man. It's been good chatting with you.
All right. Be good.
See you later, bro. All right, fam. Yeah, that was fun. I appreciate you guys all calling in today. I took it a little bit longer. There's really no rush. It's Feel Good Friday. I like to take your guys' calls and like to hear what you guys have to say. And remember, like, if I have a point that you disagree with, it's okay to disagree with me, just like it's okay for me to disagree with you. I promise you, outside of all this, we would be friends. I promise you. I'm a down to earth type dude. I've lived in a lot of different places and I've experienced a lot of different things, and I'm just grateful, for the connections that we do have, and I'm glad that we can break bread right here talking Alabama football. So thank you so much for kicking in with me today. As always, remember, this is, a couple different ways that you can support the show. Notifications, the thumbs up, the fan funders, the super chats. Follow us on our Facebook channel. And, of course, you can become a fan funder by hitting that join button. I hope you guys had a great show today. Thank you so much for calling in. I really value, the dialogue and the feedback. And as we continue to get a little bit closer to college football, we do have a basketball game tomorrow night against Arizona. So, we'll have some spot coverage on that. And, of course, news as it happens over the weekend. The news never stops. I mean, when you cover Alabama football, it just doesn't. So, and that's kind of, that's just how it's going to be. So I appreciate you guys, and we'll leave it right here with Big Homie. He'll send us off. He says, "Love you, Kyle. Stay blessed." Yeah, stay blessed outside. And Jay out in Pensacola, happy early birthday to you. I think Jamie had something with his tooth, so good luck on that. There's no pain like teeth pain. Am I right? Yeah. Ooh, man, that's why it's important to floss, water pick. The 15 minutes before you go to bed is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your body was a car, you wouldn't buy it. All the stuff that you got to do, there's too much maintenance. Man. All right, fam. I love you. Stay where your feet are at. Stay blessed. News as it happens right here on Bama Football on YouTube. Stay tuned for Wake Up Bama. As always, I got you covered. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam.